All right, let me ask you something. Have you ever had a dream, a really powerful belief, and wondered if you could somehow turn it into something tangible, something with real world value? Well, today we're going to break down a platform that's built to do exactly that, using blockchain, some clever gamification, and a pretty wild metaphor. And this right here is the heart of it all. This is DreamPlay's core vision, and it perfectly sets the stage for what we're about to explore. It's this idea of building a bridge, a bridge from our own personal intentions to the decentralized, verifiable world of Web3. So the big question is, how does that bridge actually work? Okay, so the best way to get your head around DreamPlay is to stop thinking of it as just another platform. Instead, picture a digital theme park. Seriously. Every single part of the experience is designed to feel like a ride or an attraction, all part of a bigger journey to make your goals happen. So at its core, what we're looking at is a system that literally guides you from a personal dream all the way to a concrete, real-world outcome. It uses game mechanics, crypto tokens, and a whole lot of community engagement to really spark that action and turn an abstract idea into something you can actually see and touch. Think about it. Any trip to a theme park starts with getting your ticket and walking through the gate, right? Well, it's the same for a new user on DreamPlay. The entry process has a few key steps to get you inside so you can start the real journey. The whole thing is broken down into three really clear steps. First, it kicks off with an invitation, and you have to define your why, your dream. Next, you get an NFT entry, and this part's important. You have to burn it. This is like using your one-time ticket, and it shows you're actually committed. Finally, you go to what they call the Bureau de Board, and that's where you make it official, registering your dream and setting up its fund.
Now, during that initial setup, you also join something called a believer chain. Just think of this as your first crew inside the park. It's a community of other people who are also just starting out, creating this instant network built on shared goals and support right from the get-go.
And this isn't just a local fair, we're talking global scale here. The entire theme park experience is actually replicated across three huge regions: Africa, Asia, and the Americas. And this structure is absolutely fundamental to how the park's economy works, because each region has its own unique ecosystem and its own currency. All right, so you're in, you've passed the gate, you've registered your dream, you've found your community, so now what? Well, this is where the real fun begins. This is the part where you actually start playing the game and actively working towards those goals. This phase is called Birds of Prey, and it's the absolute core of the gameplay. You're engaging in all these activities to earn the regional tokens, like PHX in Africa, EDRG in Asia, or QZTL in the Americas. But look, the goal isn't just to stack up a bunch of tokens. The point is to use that momentum to build a real startup venture. The game is literally the pathway to manifesting your dream. So where does all this lead? What's the final ride? It's called the Dreamscape. This is a full-blown immersive metaverse where the game world and the real-world economy completely merge into one. Every interaction, every bit of value exchanged, it's all powered by the ecosystem's main currency. And speaking of currency, no theme park would be complete without its own economy of tickets and tokens and cash. So let's break down the two main types of tokens that are fueling this entire DreamPlay ecosystem. So the economy basically runs on two types of tokens. First, you've got DPLIQ. That's the global currency for the entire dreamscape, used for the big picture stuff like funding startups. Then you have the Birds of Prey tokens, PHNX, EDRG, and QZTL. These are the regional currencies for the actual gameplay. And here's a really key feature. These regional tokens are deflationary. A certain amount of them are burned, basically removed from circulation every single day, which is designed to make them more scarce and potentially more valuable over time. This brings us to a concept that is absolutely crucial to this whole economy, RWA, or Real-World Asset Tokenization. This is the magic that connects the digital park to actual, tangible value. It's the process of taking things like intellectual property or even real estate and turning them into digital tokens on the blockchain. This makes them tradable and actually useful inside the ecosystem. And that, right there, brings us to the ultimate point of this entire system. This isn't just a game for the sake of playing a game. The whole theme park, every ride and attraction, is an engine. And it's an engine designed to do one thing: fund real businesses and bring incredible ideas to life. The way it does this is through the Global Startup League, or GSL. Think of it like a decentralized Shark Tank, or maybe a Kickstarter built on the blockchain. It's what allows the startups that are born inside the DreamPlay game to raise actual capital, using tokens that are directly tied to verifiable, real-world value. And you can see how this model is designed to be the complete opposite of, say, a speculative meme coin. With a meme coin, the value is all about hype, but the GSL model demands accountability. Any token that gets issued here has to have a verifiable link to a real asset, like company equity, a share of the profits, or an RWA. The entire system is built from the ground up to create investor trust. So, just how big is the opportunity we're talking about here? Well, first, that underlying technology, RWA tokenization, is projected to become a nearly $19 trillion market by 2033.
At the very same time, the GSL is stepping right into the traditional startup funding world, which is a market worth over $650 billion every single year.
And we already know the demand is there. We've seen over $500 million in existing demand for crypto-based crowdfunding. The GSL is aiming to capture that and channel it into credible asset-backed businesses.
So, we've taken the whole tour. We've journeyed through the park, from just defining a dream all the way to funding a real-world company. And this brings us to the biggest question of all. What does this all mean for the future?
Let's just quickly recap the whole model. You start with a personal dream. You channel that dream into a gamified journey. You use digital tokens as the currency for that journey. You use that journey to build and fund actual startups. And then you back that digital value with tangible, real-world assets. You see, it completes the circle from belief to blockchain to a real business.
And that's really the thought I want to leave you with. DreamPlay is laying out this fascinating model that mashes up personal development, decentralized finance, and entrepreneurship. So the question isn't just whether this one platform will succeed, it's whether this entire idea, this gamified, token-powered journey from intention to manifestation, could be a powerful new way we build the future.